I just don't understand how a team goes to the Super Bowl and then wins the draft. Howie Roseman cannot keep getting away with this. These other GMs, what are you doing letting this dude run away with these drafts? Because I totally agree with Stephen A. I think the Eagles want it.
In my opinion, the Philadelphia Eagles won the NFL draft. Howie Roseman conducted a masterclass. He picked Jalen Carter, he got Nolan Smith, grabbed DeAndre Swift afterwards. Undoubtedly the best draft in the NFL. But there were some other winners, and one of them was from the Keystone State as well, the Pittsburgh Steelers. So we're going to take a look at 3 other winners of the NFL draft and let you know what I think about what these pundits said in regards to their draft picks. The first one up is Mina Kimes.
Yeah, I really liked the Steelers draft. I feel like their needs aligned with the players they took. Start off with Broderick Jones out of Georgia, finally shoring up that tackle position to protect Kenny Pickett. You didn't have to give up much to go up and get him. Then Joey Porter Jr., who I view as a first-round talent, fell to them in the second round. Again, cornerback, a big need for this team. You get Darnell Washington, who...
Darnell Washington was a steal. Darnell Washington being picked up by the Pittsburgh Steelers was just unbelievable. There were rumors going around about him having a knee injury. There were rumors going around that he wasn't in shape. And the guy is a straight-up beast. He's a baller, and he's going to fit in well with the Pittsburgh Steelers offense. Let's continue.
It was a steal where they ended up drafting him later at tight end, and then Keanu Benton as well in the defensive line.
We got to show some love to the Bears general manager, Ryan Poles.
Now, the Chicago Bears also really augmented their team very well, and Ryan Poles, hats off.
Sure, this was the worst situation quarterback-wise in the NFL. Now it's become one that's really good, and I love Darnell Wright, who's going to play tackle for them. They added Nate Davis at guard. They got 2 new starters in this offseason, in addition to some of the perimeter help. Justin Fields is going to have a really good opportunity to excel as his career goes forward in Chicago.
That to me is amazing. Justin Fields must feel really comfortable now in that Chicago Bears offense, that he's being surrounded with weapons and he's being protected.
Hey, man, Chris Ballard and Shane Steichen, absolutely phenomenal.
So I got a video I'm going to show you about what Chris Ballard said. It's hilarious. He said that every GM lies in the NFL draft.
You sit here, do you have a pretty good idea how 1, 2, 3 go or not?
No idea. No, and I don't think anybody does. Now, everybody thinks they do. I mean, of course, everybody thinks they do, and everybody has an inside source that's giving them information of what's going to be done. But I think, as you all know, just look at the mock drafts and tell me how accurate they are after the draft. Nobody knows. Nobody's giving out information.
How much lying do you think goes on right now?
Good question. Oh, everybody's lying. I might be the most honest, unfortunately. But everybody's lying. I think you know Melly well enough. Like, usually if you answer a question, I'll either dance around it or give you an answer. Today, I'm a dancer.
He wouldn't give any indication of where he was going, and he went there and he got Anthony Richardson.
You did something that a lot of people had their heads scratched about, but you also understood the trend of the league. I heard Dan Orlovsky break Anthony Richardson down from the time we started this draft process all the way up until he was drafted. You have a chance to have a absolute superstar play quarterback, and you went for it without blinking. That is a phenomenal job by the Indianapolis Colts, and we are rooting for Anthony Richardson because he's one of those guys that we think can change this league a little bit.
Anthony Richardson is definitely one of these guys who could change the league. Absolutely, he could change the league. He's got a tremendous upside, but he's going to need some, spit shining to get everything ready for the NFL. But if they can get him ready, for the NFL defenses and be able to read and do the things physically, he's no match. The guy's got a cannon for an arm. He's fast. He's big. He's Cam Newton and Michael Vick and Lamar Jackson all wrapped into one. This kid is people slept on him. They weren't sure where he was going to go. And I got to commend Chris Ballard and the Indianapolis Colts for stepping up and saying, you know what? That's our guy. Anthony Richardson, that's our guy. He's got the SEC pedigree. So I got to believe that he's going to be a baller in Indianapolis. So the 33rd team came out with their post-draft rankings, and it was surprising, and it pissed off a lot of people, but I kind of agree with what they said. Let's take a look at the 33rd team's post-draft rankings. If you're not familiar with the 33rd team, you should check them out. It's a group of former NFL players that put out content, they do rankings, they give you their opinion, and it's really an underused site. It's really an underused content source. So they put this out, I think it was yesterday. It's called their post-draft power rankings. Now, this is where they think teams going into the season as of today rank according to their post-draft analysis. That means after the draft, after the undrafted free agents, all of it, new coaches. This is where they think these teams rank. They've got, I'm not going to go through all 32. You can take a look at yourself or go look at the 33rd team. But the number one ranked team, post-draft ranking, the Philadelphia Eagles, obviously based upon the strength of that draft to support what was already a Super Bowl team. Number two, the Kansas City Chiefs, who also supplemented the Super Bowl winning team with some great additions. Rounding out the top five, you got the Cincinnati Bengals, the Buffalo Bills, and the San Francisco 49ers. Now, a lot of people were upset with this list because of some of the teams that were way down and some of the teams that were way up. One of the teams that they ranked kind of high even shocked me. If you look at number 7, they've got the Detroit Lions at number 7. People were shocked at that. What did they see that everybody else isn't seeing? The Detroit Lions at number 7. Number 8 being the Cowboys, number 9 being the New York Giants, and then number 10 with the addition of Aaron Rodgers, the Jets, they have right now ranked as one of the top 10 teams going into the season in the NFL. Look at that list. You can see yourself. Miami Dolphins are all the way down at 17. People were freaking out about that, but it is what it is. Now, what I find very interesting is that the Colts are ranked dead last. The Colts are ranked 32, and I think that's the team that has the biggest chance to rise at least before the season begins, because the development and what Anthony Richardson shows may elevate that team really, really high very quickly. Or could do just the opposite. They could find out that Anthony Richardson really isn't available right now. He's going to be a project, and that's okay. They got next year. They're in no rush to develop this kid. I think Anthony Richardson is a star moving forward, but how fast the Colts rise and how fast the Texans rise are based upon these new quarterbacks. You got the Texans at 28, who obviously can rise with C.J. Stroud. And let's see, where do they have the Panthers? The Panthers they've got at 16 with Bryce Young. So there's a lot that can happen here as these players get into camp, as things start evolving, as the coaches get in there and start implementing their game plans. But as of right now, the Philadelphia Eagles obviously won the draft, no doubt about it. And going into the season, the 33rd team has the Eagles and Chiefs ranked 1 and 2. Obviously, the rich keep getting richer. You got the Philadelphia Eagles, who had a fantastic draft, and the Kansas City Chiefs, both ranked 1 and 2 going into the NFL season as of today. So this video is probably going to make fans of the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Chicago Bears, and Indianapolis Colts really happy. You guys are also winners of the NFL draft, right below the Philadelphia Eagles. So who knows how this season is going to progress. But come on back. I'm going to be talking about the Eagles. I'm going to be talking about the Bears. I'm going to be talking about the Colts. I'm going to be talking about my Dolphins. But let's see how this NFL season progresses. Talk to you soon.